All right, Central Georgia, we were back at around a little bit before 1 o'clock, but a 1 o'clock update on today's severe weather. So we're going to look at what's happening right now and kind of go over everything that we have been advised by the National Weather Service, Storm Prediction Center, stuff like that, and just kind of go over everything and the timing and update you all on that. So let's take the graphics full screen. As you can see, this is a current live radar picture right now. And as you can see, we're starting to see scattered rain across central Georgia. This isn't thunderstorms necessarily. I like to call it thunderstorms whenever you see lightning and you hear thunder. But right now, all you can see is scattered rain all across central Georgia, and mainly the northwestern half, if you will. So starting up at the top, Jasper, Putnam counties, Hancock counties, all that stretching down into Monroe, Bibb, Jones, Baldwin counties, and then all the way over to Upson County, Crawford County, moving out of Taylor County right now, Houston County seeing some scattered stuff, Twiggs County, Bleckley County, and then all the way down to Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Macon counties. So nothing right now besides scattered rain. So that will be the story. Maybe a very quick shower. We're actually hearing it here at the station the past couple of minutes, and it's been on for maybe about a couple minutes, and then it's gone. So as you can see, all of us up here at 13 WMAZ right there, and you can see how scattered this rain really is in nature, really just passing over the 13 WMAZ station up here and then really getting on out of here. But going to receive several rounds of these kind of scattered showers right now as we approach the afternoon right now. So let's go ahead and look at our temperatures right now. You can see we're warming on up into the 50s. Areas further to the south are creeping on up into the upper 50s. Still got a 47 up there in Monticello. So we're hoping these temperatures kind of stay at bay, and the cooler temperatures will not provide as unstable or sufficient of an environment for severe weather to form earlier on in the afternoon. But these temperatures will still continue to tick on up as we are only at the 1 o'clock hour. The next couple hours will be the warmest hours of the day, and current winds, I believe they are fairly gusty right now. So as you can see, if you were tuning in for the 11 a.m. update, a lot of that red was just creeping into the graphic over there from the west, and now it's really getting closer and closer to central Georgia, but still seeing pretty breezy conditions and gusts all the way up to about the mid-20s, low 20s right now. We see a 23-mile-an-hour gust in Macon, 21 in Dublin, 21 in Eastman, and then 17 over in Taylor County and Butler. So sustained winds going from about anywhere from 9 to, it looks like, 13 miles an hour. So that's what the winds are constantly blowing at. And then that yellow number you see beside that, those are the wind gusts, the occasional high winds that you do get. So that is what we are dealing with wind-wise. And another look at the radar once again, as I mentioned, that scattered rain, that is kind of the leading edge of all of this severe weather that will be entering our area throughout the afternoon hours right now. So right now, still in the level 2 level 2 severe weather risk, excuse me, couldn't get that out of my mouth right there. But as you can see, Mississippi, earlier today, they were in a level 3, and the Storm Prediction Center has since taken them out as the system tracks further and further to the east. But all of central Georgia is still in this level 2 risk, along with most of Alabama, South Carolina, the northern portion of Florida, and southern North Carolina as well. So we are still expecting to see the potential severe weather threats of damaging winds, an isolated tornado, and also large hail, which that is a little bit different than our system that we had on Tuesday. So the wind outlook still under a 15% chance of seeing high gusty winds today. So we're going to talking about seeing gusts up to about 45, maybe 50 miles an hour, and in some areas, depending on how strong the thunderstorm may get that passes over you, could get on up to about the 60-mile-an-hour threshold. So we are expecting gusts that will produce damaging effects to property, knock down trees, and maybe damage power lines as such. So that has put us in this wind advisory that you see right here. So this started at 10 a.m. today. This is going to go until after all of our storms have rolled on out tonight. This is going to go until 1 a.m. In the overnight hours on Saturday. And once again, this is mainly an advisory for all of central Georgia, talking about sustained winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with those gusts up to 40 miles an hour. But I do once again think that a couple areas could see gusts gustier winds up to about the 45, 50 mile an hour mark, or maybe even getting on up to 60 miles an hour. Tornado outlook, we're all in some sort of tornado risk, a little bit lower further up to the north, as they won't quite get as warm as areas further down to the south are going to get, but still in some sort of a tornado risk for this afternoon, and that is going to be mainly the risk for these isolated supercells that try to form and start to pick up rotation as they move through central Georgia. Now the hail outlook, once again, all these graphics looking very similar, but just really showing you all these to show that all of central Georgia is in some type of risk, whether it be very low or a little bit higher on that list. But as you can see, the hail outlook, all of us at 5% chance right there of seeing some kind of significant hail up to or about an inch in diameter or such. So didn't see terribly much hail on with our system on Tuesday, but still we're looking at that being in effect today that we didn't necessarily see on Tuesday. Now I know something all of you probably want to know about. We got a lot of rain on Tuesday. So as we move through this afternoon, the good news is we're not expecting to see too much rain according to these model runs. So you see the Euro having about 0.2 of an inch here in Macon, no rain whatsoever in Dublin, and that very well could be the case due to the scattered nature of the storms that we are going to see later on. As you see the GFS about 1/10 of an inch, maybe 0.2 of an inch right there, so not much disagreement amongst those two models right there. And we'll take a look at the graph right here, ranging from maybe even no rain or all the way up to about 1/2 of an inch of rain. So it's all going to depend on where these thunderstorms really go over, depending on where you are located, but really not looking at a lot of rain, which is good in terms of flooding, because we did have a lot of rain on Tuesday, upwards to about 3-4 inches in some spots. So adding on to that would just make for flooding concerns, but we are not looking at that being a major concern today. So as we roll through the afternoon, we're at the 1 p.m. hour right now, and don't get locked into the location of any of these darker colors or the supercells that you are kind of seeing right here. Right now, just know that it is going to be scattered all day, and that is not going to change. As you can see, we roll into about the 3 p.m. hour. What I do want you to pay attention to is the kind of intensity of these little rain blobs that you're seeing. So when you see the yellow and the orange and the red colors, that definitely means higher intensity of rain, so heavier rainfall. We're talking gustier winds and such. Just know that the possibility of these definitely does increase throughout the day as we do continue to get warmer in the temperature department. So Friday 4 p.m. really looking to kind of be right in the middle of it in terms of the most severe weather impacts that we are going to see across central Georgia. Still taking it to 5 p.m. Stuff still looking pretty scattered. And then we'll take it a little bit further. It's about 6 p.m. That's when it starts to kind of fizzle out right there, more so in our eastern counties. But then, as you can see, about the 8 p.m. hour, that really leaving all of central Georgia entirely, which is going to be good news. We'll be treated to some partly cloudy skies tonight, and that will allow for our some temperatures to drop on down with no cloud cover, but that cloud cover may be keeping us a little bit warmer throughout tonight, so maybe not necessarily waking up at freezing temperatures tomorrow. But now we'll take it over to the timeline of our severe weather effects. As you can see, the 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Window, that's when we're looking at the highest risk for tornadoes, the highest risk for large hail, and also damaging winds as well. So you can note that the winds kind of getting going a little bit earlier than those. As we are at the 1 p.m. hour, we are at a little bit of a higher risk of damaging winds right now. But as you see, not really getting above that 30 mile an hour mark right now, but still as that system continues to trek further and further east and move closer and closer to central Georgia, that those damaging winds will become a lot more prevalent across central Georgia, and we will be monitoring that concern. So as you can see, let's see if I can get I can't get the arrow on here, but as you can see, those darker yellows that you're seeing on there, those are the periods where we are looking to see the effects of all these. So the main concern is definitely going to be the damaging winds today, as we have been putting that wind advisory and the day one wind outlook that I showed you, about a 15% chance of damaging winds. So we're talking gusts that can get on up into the 40s, maybe even the 50s or the 60s, depending on how severe of a thunderstorm that we do have. But what I really want to note, the damaging winds are going to have more of an effect today because we did get all that rain on Tuesday. So a lot of the soil is very saturated, very loose right now, and that is going to lead to concerns of lots of trees falling, maybe falling on power lines, falling on cars, falling on property. So that is going to be a concern we will want to look out for today. As you know, or as I noted, the hail risk, we're talking about hail that can get up to about an inch in diameter, maybe even a little bit larger, depending on how big of the thunderstorm were to form, and also the risk of an isolated tornado or two embedded in those supercells that I just showed you. So a lot of those areas where you're seeing the yellows, where you're seeing the reds and the oranges with heavier precipitation, we could possibly get some circulation of winds in there and cause some rotation that could form a brief tornado or two. So another live look at the radar right now, and then I'll try to answer a couple of questions in the comments real quick. As you can see, we're at the 1 p.m. hour now, and scattered rain moving into central Georgia right now. Looks like we have a little bit of a gap behind. You can see all that approaching kind of from the west-southwest over in this area. A little bit of a gap over on the Alabama-Georgia state line right now, so that would be some good news, but we do want the cloud cover to remain a little bit prominent as we continue to move throughout today, as we don't want those temperatures to climb on up into the mid, maybe upper 60s. That could allow for warmer air to enhance the rising motion and of all these pop-up storms that we are seeing. So another view, a future view real quick, just really want to reiterate the scattered nature of what we're seeing. These are going to be individual cells. Some of them are going to pop up more intensely than others, but very scattered stuff all over central Georgia. So not a very definitive line like we did have on Tuesday that did bring lots of rain, and we could really time it out for all of central Georgia. So today, just note that you may not get any rain whatsoever, or you could get a very severe thunderstorm. So it's going to be a wide range, and that's why we're trying to keep you updated hour by hour here in the Weather Center, just to let you know what's going on currently, as there is the possibility that you could see any rain, or you couldn't see any rain, or you could see a whole or a good amount of rain and a very severe thunderstorm. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to really ramp on up around the 2 p.m. hour, and as we get around to about 4 or 5 p.m., that's probably when we're looking at the most intense cells right here that you do see on future view. But the good news is clearing on out, starting to clear out around 7 p.m. and then really making its way out of central Georgia around 8, 9 p.m. tonight, and just dealing with some residual cloud cover. So not too much rain, at least compared to earlier this week, but the threat of damaging winds, and as I mentioned, that loose soil could lead to a lot of damage from trees falling, so we will definitely want to keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at some of the comments right there. See a lot of you talking about, and this is just reiterating what I was saying about the scattered nature of all this right now. So I see raining in Alma, Georgia, sprinkling in Milledgeville, and pouring rain in Eatonton. So as you can see, very scattered stuff. You're going to have a wide range of effects of what you do see across central Georgia today. You could see some pretty heavy rain at times, or you could see just a sprinkle, or you could see no rain whatsoever. So that is going to be the case all day. And the good news is I did mention, people will be seeing pouring rain and some pretty heavy showers at points, as indicated by some of these darker colors on the radar right there. But this pouring rain is definitely going to be very short-lived in nature, only lasts a couple of minutes. I mean, we've heard a little bit of it here at the station so far, some of the rain on the roof, and it lasts maybe a couple minutes, and then bye-bye, it's gone for a little bit. So scattered stuff all over central Georgia today. A couple of people asking about specific locations. This risk of everything, all the scattered pop-up supercells, winds, and heavy downpours at times, is going to exist for all of central Georgia. So in terms of the timing of it, right now we are definitely seeing our western counties get more of the scattered rain that we are seeing right now. That will continue to pop up more further to the east as we continue to trek throughout the afternoon. But note around 2 p.m. definitely looks to be the really nail down time of when this stuff does look to kind of intensify. We might be getting a little bit of a break, as I showed you on the radar. I'll go ahead and pull that back up. But 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., that is the time for the most severe weather threats that we are looking at. And this threat will exist for all of central Georgia. So between that 2 p.m. hour and 6 p.m. hour, all of central Georgia, be sure to stay aware, as we are going to see the most intense winds, the most intense rainfall, maybe even some hail or an isolated tornado or two. But we're not seeing anything right now besides the scattered rain. This will continue to trek from the west and kind of move in a northeasterly direction, if you will. So as you can see, all these storms kind of taking the path up to the northeast rather than directly west to east. And that will also help give us a little bit of Gulf moisture that is moving in from the southwest. So southwest to southeast, or southwest to northeast, excuse me. That is kind of general direction of the cells and rain that will be moving in. Once again, all of central Georgia, no matter where you live, you're expecting to see some sort of effect to this. It could be just a measly little sprinkle, or it could be a severe thunderstorm. So a wide range. That's why we're giving you this kind of time window right now for you to just stay weather aware. Be sure to stay inside. Please don't be on the roads unless you absolutely have to. If you are driving in any of this later on today, please be very cautious, allow for a couple extra minutes. But if you are at home, make sure that you are close to your safe space in case any of these do get very severe in nature, pop up as a severe thunderstorm warning or even a possible tornado warning as we do move throughout this afternoon. And then a lot of questions that I've been getting all morning about school pickup. I know that this is obviously in a very unfortunate time right now because kids will be getting out of school come around 3, 4 o'clock. And for that, definitely stay updated with your local school board. I know Bibb County Schools has said that they are monitoring the weather and an early release might happen, but they have not confirmed anything as of yet. And as we are at about 1 o'clock right now, I imagine most schools will probably still stay on schedule. But once again, I don't work for the Board of Education. I'm here to just relay you the weather the best I can. So definitely stay posted with your local school boards. If you are concerned about it, go ahead and do what you feel is best to get your kids home. But as you know, 2 p.m., 6 p.m., that's when we're looking at seeing the most severe weather in that window right there. So stay posted with your local Board of Educations and do what you feel is best for you and your family. Let's see, I'm going to take a couple more comments and then we'll probably sign off. And after this, Jordan West is going to be live at 2 p.m. on right back here on the 13 WMAZ Facebook. And also, if anything severe were to pop up, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, whatsoever, we will we will be live on Facebook for any severe thunderstorm warnings. If they start to ramp on up in intensity, then we'll cut live into the stream as need be. Same thing goes for tornado warnings as well. But right now, not seeing anything besides the scattered rain right now, which is good news to see, but we still haven't hit that most intense window of severe weather yet. So we are going to continue to monitor this as the system does move throughout the southeast right now. You say it's too cold for a tornado right now, but temperatures are on the rise up right now. So they can definitely happen any time of year, especially here in central Georgia. So don't think that it's too cold to have a tornado whatsoever. Yeah, and once again, just to tell you the scattered nature of this, see in comment, in Warner Robins, not a drop of rain yet over on Russell Parkway. So that's how scattered this stuff really is. I imagine that you will be seeing scattered stuff throughout the afternoon, but it will be very short-lived in nature, only about maybe a couple minutes to about 30 minutes, and then that will blow on over. But you could definitely see another pop-up thunderstorm or two. So as of right now, we are looking at some of the models, and I've been saying the word supercell to you because that's obviously what we say whenever tornadoes are forming. But the more and more we continue to look at future view and other models and parameters, we aren't seeing much rotation, especially in the storms in Alabama right now that are moving further over here to central Georgia. So not seeing terribly much rotation amongst these, so we're probably going to refer to these more as cells of just thunderstorms and rain right now, but the possibility is still there for one to pop up, start rotating, create some kind of a supercell, but we are looking at the rotation not being as prominent as we thought earlier on this morning. All right, so once again, 2 p.m., Jordan West, he will be live here on Facebook, giving you another update as we really get into that window of the most severe weather impacts. And then also, if anything were to pop up, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, we will be live back here on Facebook when that does happen, or if that does happen, I should say. And if it were to get very severe in nature, we would cut into the stream on 13WMAZ. But continue to stay updated with us online, 13WMAZ.com, Facebook, myself, Alex Forbes, Jordan West, Ben Jones will be in here in just a little bit. So we will be keeping you updated throughout the remainder of this afternoon and into the evening before all of this moves on out and we can give the all clear for all of Central Georgia. So thank you all for tuning in.